First rode to school on my own when I was 8. This is impossible for most people due to a severe lack of safe and direct alternatives to driving. We really cannot afford to tear up these safe cycling routes. They allow people of all ages to travel independently and be healthier. Last year I got my first job, which was in the city. So most weekends I would ride my bike into the city along the Elizabeth Street bike lanes to get to work. When I found out that council wanted to remove these bike lanes, it made me very frustrated, because going by bike along Elizabeth Street is my fastest way into the city. Faster than the tram, faster than by going around the river, sometimes even faster than driving. But I can't drive, so it doesn't really help me. It is unfathomable that our council wants car parking for a minuscule amount of privileged people over a safe bike lane that benefits everyone of all ages and backgrounds. That is why we must not let these bike lanes be removed. Thank you.
That we did have some aggression on this ride. I just want to say I'm really sorry about that, and let's make sure that that doesn't stop us from keeping on working for this cause. So thank you so much for coming. Can I have Herschel? Where are you, Herschel? There you are. Sorry. Ebony has to leave soon and wants to take a photo of a bike lift. Now, if you haven't been to Critical Mass before, and you've got a bike that you can actually ride, so we're all going to do a lift and grab a great photo. So Ebony's just up here, so make sure you're looking at Ebony. Make sure everybody knows that we've all been here. If you can't lift your bike, lift your helmet. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hooray! Thank you all! Herschel, come and talk to us.
Thank you, and thank you, Karen. Listen, first of all, I'd just like to acknowledge that we're on the lands of the Wurundjeri, and those lands have never been seceded. Thank you. It's been absolutely mind-blowing. I don't know how many high fives everybody's been getting, but I got a few. And seeing all these bikes and coming down Bridge Road. I hope the age photographer was there, taking in the snaps. Just wanted to acknowledge Chris, Karen and Alison for putting this all together, giving a big shout out. They've really been amazing. They've literally spun on a dime to rally support against the outrageous attempt to rip up the bike infrastructure in Richmond. So well done to them. In April 2023, the then council unanimously carried a motion after an exhaustive and proper consultation process to retain the protected bike lanes in Elizabeth Street and to leave the existing temporary arrangement until Home Victoria, and you would have seen the work being done, completed their works that allow for a more permanent form of a public realm improvement. Now, that was the plan. We came out of COVID, we didn't have a lot of money, we lost $50 million. So that's what we thought was a clever way to do it. Roll out small improvements and make a big difference. What has happened now is this new council has not respected this decision. Rather, they've sought to renege that decision without any transparency, without any proper process, any procedural fairness, or any conflict of interest declarations. Their motion talked about the removal of bike infrastructure and modifying bike paths until council makes a final decision. The language of removing separated bike paths. Their decision has been met with aghast and anger by the community, as evidenced by this amazing turnout today. So thank you very much for that. And tell me, why would you want to pick a fight with Yarra's bike community? You now got the mayor going, oh no, we're all pro-bike, we're all pro-bike. At the same time, he goes on radio and he calls us, what do he call us? He calls us cycling jihadists.
Yay!
So greetings, fellow jihadists. I mean, it's a tough gig being a populist, I have to tell you. But anyway, the Mayor's slur against us as advocates fails to understand that whilst we know that not everybody rides a bike, we get that, but there is an increasing population who no longer want to own cars and who prefer to ride a bike to get around. And this week in Coburg, we saw an application for some dwellings, and I want to just read out some of the submissions because they're really important. We heard that the need to respect future residents' lifestyle and affordability choices not to have cars. And the council and state policies need to make it clear that continuing reliance on cars is not sustainable. Housing projects that reduce car dependency are necessary. It therefore follows that councils have to, so that as we get the growing number of households without cars, council has a duty of care to ensure safe and equitable access on our road network for those residents who are seeking to get around on their bikes. And this is what successive Yarra councils have been seeking to achieve, a move towards safe multimodal transport outcomes and the reallocation of road space. That is until now. So we're here today to send a message in the strongest of terms that we don't want the degradation and dismantling of safe bike paths, and not to risk our safety, rather to protect and enhance the protected bike paths that we have in Richmond, along designated strategic cycling corridors as part of Transport Victoria's integrated transport priorities. So let me finish off by saying that what I'm urging tonight, I need that piece of paper now. What I'm urging tonight is to keep pressing. Thank you. Keep pressing our message home. And that means continuing to mobilise community sentiment and to ensure continuing momentum towards safe streets in Yarra. We need to keep getting names on the petition. Petition here, right? Yeah, petition.
That's a message straight to them.
Oh, sorry?
Email the council.
Okay, hang on. No. Get them on the petition, but we need to keep getting names onto getting emails to councillors. Now we go. Right. And to keep ringing those bells. Come on, ring the bells. Folks, we're going to win this battle. We're going to win this battle. And I'll give you one very good reason why we're going to win this battle. We're going to win because people in Yarra want to ride bikes. They want to ride to get around safely. And we're not going to be marginalised. Thank you very much indeed for listening to this.
Thank you very much, Herschel. Just a note, we've just had a message from the police. If anybody has any physical damage to their bikes or personal of themselves, can you please just put a call into Collingwood or Richmond Police Station and just report that so we've got it all covered off. Thank you. Now, Amanda Stone, thank you very much for coming to speak.
Thank you. Yesterday's woman a bit, but anyway, still here. I didn't join the ride today. I don't have a bike at the moment. But what an extraordinary turnout. I look around here and I see people from all walks of life, all ages and stages, the whole diversity of people out there. This is not an elite group of people on bikes. This is everybody. And I reckon anyone trying to portray cyclists as a group unto itself, it's just got their head in the wrong place. 16 years ago, Sam Gaylard's here today. We were on a council together, and one of the very first things we did was introduce a bike strategy. That bike, at the time, and I'm going to give a little bit of a history lesson to show that this council has a long, proud history of supporting active transport. That strategy was groundbreaking, and it positioned Yarra as a leader in active transport. We implemented most of the actions very quickly within 4 years, but the hard ones, we did the low-hanging fruit. The hard ones are the ones we're still grappling with, the separated bike lanes. Very difficult to do. They involve trade-offs, as a lot of council decisions do, And you deal with those not by coming in and making a sweeping decision. You work through the problems with the people who are affected, and you come to a fair and balanced conclusion, which is what happened with Wellington Street. We started on in Elizabeth Street. You can see how long all this takes and how much work goes into it. And we got there, we reached the best possible decision, and as Herschel said, you can't just walk in and turn over something that's been party to lots and lots of work and community engagement. The shocking thing to me, and I'm going to be a little less diplomatic than I usually am, is that someone who has been on council for 20 years, who's had the opportunity to drive active transport and cycling infrastructure, if that's what they're saying they want to do now, did nothing. And in fact actively opposed a lot of the adventurous cycling infrastructure that was proposed in the last few years. Why? Because of loss of parking. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to park close to where you're going, is there? But in inner Melbourne, it's a luxury. Finite road space, lots of things to accommodate. We can't do it all. Who expects to be able to park outside where they want to go in inner Melbourne? It's a fantasy. And in fact, it's becoming a fantasy throughout the rest of inner Melbourne and a little bit further afield too. So we have to get real, we have to share our road space, and for cars and motorists who have had the lion's share of road space for so long, it's time to let cyclists move out of the second-class citizenship category and enjoy the same rights that motorists have. Safe, separated bike lanes and good infrastructure that encourages everyone to get out there. This is a debate about convenience versus safety. And from a public policy perspective, there's no question, safety must predominate. So good on you all for coming today. If this new council really is serious about bike infrastructure, they can just implement the Transport Action Plan, which was adopted by the previous council and after extensive, long community engagement. All the bike actions are there, all the things the Mayor's been talking about he's going to do are in that plan, they were going to happen anyway. Let's get behind that plan and see it implemented and keep up the wonderful work that you've done today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. So great to hear the words, great words, and be reminded of some of those really important things. I particularly like prioritising safety over convenience. That's a really good one. So that's the end of our speeches tonight. I've been told that these emails are coming through, so make sure you scan this QR code to email the local councillors. And the next thing you need to do is you need to come out to Critical Mass next month.
Tell your friends.
And bring your friends. That's good. I like that. Yes, bring your friends to Critical Mass next month on the last Friday of the month. Keep an eye on yarrabug.org, all one word, yarrabug.org. More information about this campaign, and criticalmass.melbourne for more information about upcoming critical masses. Thank you so much for being here. It has been a lovely experience.